Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome to another coaching testimonial. I'm with my good friend Ray, and today we're just going to ask about his coaching experience with me in the most authentic, honest, and transparent way as possible. I told Ray, hey, just lay it all out. Whether you think it's good, it's bad. So I guess the first question for the audience is like, how did we meet? What's the history between us? And what are you up to right now?
Sure. Marco and we've known each other since we were around 4, 5. I don't remember the exact age, but since we're very young, since I've, been able to start process what I'm thinking. We've known each other for a long time, and Marco told me about his journey in terms of how he got into coaching and what he does as a coach. And for me, I was interested, and I just asked him, and hey, would we be able to hop on a session and try and figure some things out in my life? And that's how it started. Really, it was just a very simple. From a very simple place of, hey, I think I can do better, and I've got a friend who I think who does this, so let's give it a go. And that's how it really started.
Cool. I'm just like, quickly, what are you up to right now? Where in terms of your life stage?
Sure. So I recently just quit my job around a month ago, and right now I am really just pursuing what I want to do next, pursuing my what I want to do next for the next stage of my life. And for me right now, that is to work with psychedelic drugs to improve mental health for everyone. And that's my main goal right now. And I'm working just preparation and working towards that right now.
Beautiful. Yeah, it was really good to know Ray since a young age, and it was beautiful to see our interests kind of like, I guess, grow as we kind of grow as well, like, starting from maybe basketball into startups, and then like, psychedelics and personal growth, a little bit about spirituality. So it's really good to be able to know someone at such a young age and have our interests kind of align as we grow as well.
I think what really the thing that we are similar, that leads us to the path that we're going on, is that it started off, I think we're a little bit, the word I would say is naughty. That's the word I would say. a little bit cheeky. I think that's the word. And I think cheeky also includes a lot of, different good aspects like curiosity and just questioning, things as they are. But really, I like to use the word naughty.
Got you. All right.
Yeah.
The ladies like it too. So can you kind of tell us a little bit more about like what motivated you to want to do coaching? Because you said that, you initially, it was just, I'm just kind of curious, but then we kind of formalized it a little bit. We talked about a program, etc. So what kind of motivated you to, I guess, pursue further?
Guess what motivated me was I think it was the first, we had the first session where we just kind of discussed what we wanted to work on in the program. And from what really clicked for me was that really is the conversation I was having with you about all these things that I was not aware about. There were a lot of, I remember the session, there were a lot of like prompting questions asking me about different aspects of my life. And these are questions that I really haven't asked myself. And if I have asked myself, I really didn't answer it to that detail, because I guess when someone asks me a question, I try to give them a very good answer. But sometimes when I ask that question, I just say, okay, here's the answer. And that conversation is happening in my head. So maybe the question isn't, the answer isn't as clear, because it's just kind of like some mumbling noises in my head. But after having that session, that kind of discovery session with you alone, that was very good for me already in terms of just helping me clarifying my thinking. Because for me personally, speaking is the best way of clarifying things, clarifying your thoughts, and helped me a lot. And I thought, and that was the moment I thought, okay, I think I could do this more frequently. I could do it perhaps on a, what we did was a week, or it was a weekly or bi-weekly basis. I think that's what we did. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's more bi-weekly, depending on your
Yeah,
schedule.
bi-weekly. Yeah, bi-weekly. Yeah.
Got you. Okay. And so how was the coaching for you, experience for you, like overall?
Hmm.
And how is it like compared to like other personal growth methods?
Okay. I think this is a for me. I'm thinking about what we did was we really broke it down into different aspects of my life, right? And we talked about relationships, we talked about career, we also talked about social circle, that different aspects essentially. And I think for me there is the good and the bad to it. So the good in terms of I get to really talk about these different aspects and what I want to do with these different aspects. But then for me, I think maybe what can I say? We could be more focused on one of these things. For example, like if, let's say, we have these different areas that we want to discuss, that I want to work on, because I think a lot of people want to work on these areas. These are all very general areas that people want to work on. But I think if we were to have more focus on one area, like I only get to choose one, I think that would perhaps make the whole task a little bit less daunting, and perhaps we could see in future see results popping quicker results, because I'm only focusing on one area. I'm not as daunted, so I would do a lot of the work for that area only, and then every week we would just discuss that area, and then perhaps once that area is up to a point where you think you could start working on other areas, I think that would be an interesting take. Just
because I feel like we did the free flow classic coaching where it's more like, hey, we had a kind of highlighted what we want to work on at the start, and then but on the day it's more like, hey, how you feeling, what's popping up, what's showing up in your life, and then we kind of like flowed into that organically. So I still have that offer right now, but I also have a more well-structured program that's around investing, and also around helping people find themselves and the path that they want to live, and how to consciously design their life. And so now sort of like I have 3 offers now, and so probably it makes more sense for you to have more structure.
I think so. I like that. And I do think we could in the future implement more exercises. A lot of I think I spoke to you about that. There could be brainstorming sessions, there can be like the plans that we talked about, the 5-year plans, the different lives that you could live. I think those are very potential interesting exercise that can be implemented. There's an array of exercises that one can do. I think that would be interesting as well. It's kind of like the homework, right?
Yeah. So thank you for that. I think in my program right now, that's what I'm implementing. But I also don't want it to be so like, oh, you have to do this. More like, hey, do you feel like this is working for you? Cool. I want to ask, like, how's coaching different from let's say like just reading a book, or like going to a seminar, or like going to a workshop? Like as a growth tool, what do you feel are the pros and cons, and how has it been able to, I guess, like while you're doing the coaching, what's the difference that you see?
Sure. I think the formats you mentioned, books, workshops, it's a very passive way of learning. So it's about me reading things off a page, someone saying something, and me absorbing it. But with coaching, what you're really doing is that you're prompting me to think about my life, and you're asking me questions that are very pointed to myself, or even helping me clarify my own thinking. I think a lot of it, what we did was, I think what you did a lot of times, maybe there are, you're just asking me questions about my questions, you know. So, and that is certainly a lot more active. I have to use my brain a lot more in terms of coming up with an answer, because I'm just reading off answers from a page. You know, maybe if I would, maybe a book later on, I would, you know, come back and figure out what I read and, you know, try and integrate it into my life. But often I think that's those ways are just much more passive.
Got you. Okay. And so, did you have any concerns, like, before starting the program? Any things that held you back?
I think it would, for me and for most people, I think it's just a lot of, perhaps, especially in our culture, maybe a little bit of prejudice against coaching. Like, oh, why do I need it? You know, how's this guy gonna help me? You know, I know myself the best. But as a matter of fact, it's just great to have someone help you out, to help you, because you're always inside you're inside your own head, you know, and to have to get your thoughts out, and to have someone help you gather your thoughts and clarify your own thoughts. I think that in itself is very useful already. That in itself, I think so. So yeah, that would be my answer.
Gotcha. Anything add to that, or that was the main one for you? And if so, how did you kind of get over that kind of concern for you?
Well, for me, I had that concern, but we had that first session, right? And once we got through that first session, I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, I can see myself doing that. Nothing wrong with that at all. And I just got going. Just often it's you just need to the first step, and your stigma is gone. A lot of your concerns, everything. You just got to take the first step, and it's gone for most things in life.
Yeah. Cool. And so we did the coaching program probably almost like half a year ago. I don't know why it took me so long to kind of like schedule this call with you to ask you about your feedback and your experience. Yeah. But kind of like looking back, I mean, it might be also a good thing because it's been a while since we've done the coaching session. Like, what has been the takeaway for you? Like, what are some things that has been able to internalize within that actually has made some sort of a difference, if any?
I think it's, again, I keep going back to this same point, but it's, you need to either write things down or say things out loud in order to really know what you're thinking, to really nail down what is your take on things, what is your stance on things. And this coaching process really helped me kind of have more conversations in my head about things. Like, more often or not, I would just be like, okay, question A, and then I'll have a question B, but I don't really bother going deeper to clarifying what question B exactly is, what I'm trying to get out of question B. You know, so that's my main takeaway. And also, I think the other thing is that we talked a lot about just goals, and then the action towards those goals. And pretty much we're talking on a way of design, pretty much just how do you want to design your optimal life. And I think that was when a big takeaway from that is that I learned how to ask the right questions to essentially nail down what it is that I want, and then after that I kind of clarify what I want. Then I could move on to the process of designing how to get what I want.
I see.
You know? Yeah.
So now after the coaching session, right? Like since we've done it, like is that something that you've kind of like you're doing nowadays? Like, okay, if you have a big problem, you kind of like be more deliberate into asking, okay, what is it that I want? What is exactly what I'm asking? So that's okay.
Yeah, 100%. It's getting unstuck. I think that's a big part of what it is. You know, there are problems that, you know, like a question like, what is my life purpose? You know, one of these questions, like these are very loaded questions.
Yeah.
And I've learned to kind of break that question down, go up a level, go higher level. You know, okay, what is my life purpose? Okay, why do you even think you need a life purpose? You know, you can go up a level. You know, you can go down a level in terms of thinking, okay, if asking other questions such as, okay, if I were to have achieved my life purpose, what does that mean? What do I get? How would that make me feel? You know, getting all these surrounding questions to help you clarify, okay, is this actually even the question that I want answered in the first place? You know, kind of like
that's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
you're like coaching yourself now, essentially.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. Moving on, just wondering, like just now you alluded to, you know, the way that the experience could be improved was perhaps having more structured, was having more exercises, more focus. Is there anything else that you feel you like in that could improve the coaching experience, or any areas you feel that didn't really resonate with me, or any suggestion you have to even make it better?
No, I think to keep even the exercising, that's secondary. I think focus is number one. Focus is number one, and focus is number one. And then once you know we know what we want, the exercises are just there to supplement the focus. That's pretty much it for me.
Got you. I was chatting with Adrian. Y'all met on the group call before, and he did mention about like, hey, he did like the one-time group call that we had before. He found that to be quite valuable. I'm just wondering, what was your thoughts on that call?
My thoughts on that is that if we were to do some sort of group call, I think some sort of a structure would be would need to be in place. Maybe I was thinking of, just on top of my head, right? I was thinking of, okay, so there we got these group sessions. What about, are there any potential sessions where it's me and Adrian, where we're both not coaches, we're both students, but then we kind of do exercises together? You know, I help him clarify his thinking, and he helps me clarify our thinking. So to have these people in our circle to be a part of, to do exercises with us to help us clarify each other's thinking, I think that would be something that would be more interesting if we were to do that in a group. You know, if we were to have some sort of a catch-up call weekly, I don't think that would be as beneficial.
Got you. All right. So actually, one thing I was planning to ask you, if you were interested in doing like a quarterly call once every 3 months, doing some exercises like that. That's something that I'm implementing, just to have both clients kind of being able to meet even after the coaching program. So maybe we can talk about that post recording.
Sure. I want to know what would we be doing in those group calls? Like, what would we be doing?
Yeah. So exactly. Perhaps doing what you just suggested, doing the exercises, as well as I feel like certain topics would be very interesting, because I personally felt it was quite cool to have 4 men talking about, like last time, like what kind of father do you want to become? I think that was kind of very deep, and that's not part of like a discussion that you'll get normally in your day-to-day group. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I think I'd be down. 100%.
Cool. 100%. So my last question is, would you recommend this service, or have you recommended this service? If so, to whom would you think this would be the best fit for, based on your experience?
I think it would be even better for people. Right now I'm 24, but I do see, imagine if I was 18, 17, 16, and I get to start asking these questions a little bit earlier, plant those seeds in my head a little bit earlier. I think that would do wonders, 100%. Getting me to, a lot of the times, especially when I was 16 and I was 17, and you were 16 and 17, it's like, for most people, it will be like, you got to choose your college, choose your university degree now, although you don't really have any idea what you want to do, but you got to choose it. And that's another 3 years of your life. And if you finish and you don't enjoy what you do, well, good luck, that's, that happens. And I think if we were to be able to start clarifying our own thinking, start thinking more about what we really want at a younger age, I think we would be able to carve out better paths. Definitely carve out better paths. Do better planning, 100%.
For sure. Because I feel like a lot of people, like we're, as 17, 18-year-old, we're put in these positions to choose while you don't even have a lot of self-awareness around what do you like, what's your purpose, what's your values, what's your strengths, what's your weaknesses, etc. So I think like definitely, and it's not that school does not really help you know yourself on that deep as a level. So
no, it's school doesn't help you with that. Even I'm not sure about for most schools that I know of, the career counseling is not. It's here's a test for you to do. Here's your skills. Oh, you're probably going to become a baker. You're good at becoming a baker. It's like, but have you asked me what I wanted to do?
Yeah.
Have you even asked me what I'm interested in? So not really. No, I think this would definitely be beneficial for those people.
Got you. All right. Thank you so much. Any, I guess, closing thoughts or things that I haven't asked you that you want to share? Just things that you have on your mind in general?
I think I would ask you, like, what kind of demographic would you want to potentially enjoy working with, more like younger people or older people? I don't know. I just want to ask you that.
Yeah, well, actually, all the clients I was able to attract, so far are usually like younger men like yourself that's already motivated, that are aware that they have certain things that they want to work on, just need a little bit more of support, clarify their thoughts. Usually they're a little bit more entrepreneurial, or they have some sort of like good ambition. They want to help people. Just like a good person that just want to kind of become better. And that's kind of like usually the demographic that I enjoy working with the most. And that's the people that I want to continue working with. And also, I think what you said with the university, I mean, high school kids, I feel like that's also an interest I want to explore a little bit more. I haven't been targeting that, but it makes sense given that, probably I have more experience to guide them in their, like, in addition to coaching, also a little bit of mentoring can come into place when I work with kids in high school. Yeah.
All right.
And my brother Ray, thank you so much for your feedback, your ideas, and just your trust in me for guiding you so far in your life journey. Just being that support, like you also have been for me in my life, being that sounding board and that person that I can bounce idea with, and I can just really kind of be myself around. So I'm very honored and glad that you have that trust in me to be that person in your life. So yeah, much appreciated, man. Sending my gratitude.
Hey, likewise, brother. Likewise, brother. Thank you very much. I'm glad we are continuing on our journey together, and we're just gonna keep going. And I'm sure that we're going to. Our interests are very similar, and I think our lives will continue to cross with each other. And that's it.
Yeah, beautiful.
Beautiful.